Welcome back to Amazing Websites Television, the show where intelligent people like you can find the tools to change the rules. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 49. My name is Ernesto Verdugo and I am very proud that next week we are going to be having episode 50 of the Amazing Websites television show. Thank you for being with us all this time. If you're a new viewer, I am delighted to welcome you, and I hope that we're going to be having another 50, 100, 200 more episodes coming in the near future. Now let's get started with this episode, which is going to be a special episode because we're going to be talking about the unknown internet, and I am sure that a lot of the things that I'm going to be mentioning to you have never heard of them or did not know about them, so you're going to find the program very, very interesting. Now, before I go into the content, I want to actually go for a small rant about a letter that I received a couple of days ago from a company called Getty Images. These guys from Getty Images are absolute crooks and you should never do business with them. On the letter, they are telling me that I am using a picture from them without their permission and that I had to pay them over $1,000. Obviously, when I read the letter, I was like, oh my God. So actually I went to see to the picture that they were referring to, and guess what? I actually found that it was a picture that I had purchased and I had still the receipt. Therefore I contacted them and I said, absolutely, this is just despicable and I'm not going to pay 1 cent from it. Now, because of course I didn't really know how to handle this situation, I started Googling it and I started finding that there were many people that have been actually been victims of these Getty Images con. So I recommend that you actually go to Google, search for the Getty Images fraud, and you actually learn what these guys are doing because it's absolutely despicable. So now that I have told you that, allow me to tell you that I have only 3 new tools that I have found this week to share with you, because I want to actually leave a little bit of space for a very funny video that I want to share with you that is going to give you also a lesson on how to use the internet. So the first tool that we're going to be talking about is called Sci-Fi, and it is just absolutely great. It is an interface where you can put all your statistics from Google Analytics, from Facebook, from Twitter followers. I mean, all the analytics that you can imagine from all the platforms that you're using, all you can see them there, and it will be really graphicing them very, very nicely. Really, really cool tool. The second tool that I want to share with you, it's called Close with a Z. And what happens with this one is that you know that you have a number of different inboxes for email. So you have, for example, your Facebook private messages, and you have your Twitter messages, and you have your LinkedIn mail, and you have your Gmail, and you have your Outlook mail, and your Hotmail, and all these different kind of mails. Well, this is great because it's an inbox for all these mails going into one single server, which I absolutely love. Plus, on top, of course, you can add some of your social media profiles so that within one platform you will be able to see everything. I absolutely love it. The last resource that I want to share with you today, it's called Quozio, and this Quozio tool is also very, very nice because what you can do is you can go there. They have a very nice interface where you can just type stuff and you can have quotes, or you can have commercial messages and whatever, and you will be able to make some really nice JPEGs that you will be able to share in Pinterest, or you will be able to share also in Facebook. So those are the 3 elements that I wanted to share with you today, and now it's time that we go to an interesting video that it talks about internet security. Have a look.
Dag Fien. Even kijken. Ik zie een school tegen Antwerpen.
Ja.
Insecten.
Wat blieft?
Ik voel 2 insecten op je rug. Kan dat?
Ja, vlinders.
Slovenie?
Zo hè.
Een moto. Oranje.
Pats erop.
Zenit.
Oui, bien.
Je hebt een vriendin. Julie de... Met wie?
Ja.
Een boeiend liefdesleven. 3, 4 zelfs.
Die vierde, daar zwijg ik meestal over, dus dat weten niet veel mensen.
Hoe is het met je spierscheur? Maison rouge, balkon, blanc. Ja. Ik zie geld, ik zie transacties, maar kent je rekeningnummer van buiten? Ik denk dat ik het wel weet. Die staat wel negatief op je bankrekening.
Ja?
9-7. Last month you spent €200 on alcohol. Vorige maand €300 aan kleding gespendeerd. 8.
Ja.
5. Voor een huis dat van eigenaar gaat veranderen. €795.000.
Ja, eigenlijk.
41.
Ja.
Is dat juist?
Ja, dat is juist. Oh my god. Oh nee. Ah, dat is, ik weet niet hoe eng.
Interesting video, don't you think? This was recorded in Belgium, and of course I think it's a lesson for all of us that we have to be quite careful with actually we post on social media, and also how we treat our passwords and our confidential information, because you never know where it's going to be. So I do not recommend that you do not stop posting on Facebook or doing all these kind of things, but just be very careful with what you're posting, and also be very careful with your passwords, because of course there's hackers all over the place that can really do some harm. Now that we finish this, let's go to the next session of the show, which is going to be On the Go with Web 3.0. On this week's On the Go with Web 3.0, I want to show you a video that you're going to find very interesting. Now, I have to warn you, it is a little bit naughty. However, I think it's very, very interesting the way that Stockholm has actually used Web 3.0 to measure sex. Now that you know about it, you're going to find it very, very interesting. Have a look and enjoy it. that you have enjoyed this week's section of On The Go with Web 3.0, and now it's time that we go to the next section of the show, which is going to go Advanced SEM Strategies with James Reynolds.
And now, our feature presentation.
Facebook makes it easy to follow what's happening with your friends, as they input the details of their daily lives. But say you want to follow a topic besides your friends, something related to politics, business, celebrities, tech, whatever. For stuff like that, there's no army of workers to input the details of every celebrity breakup, white-collar arrest, startup acquisition, or political victory into a feed like the one for your friends on Facebook. But what if there was a place where you could get something like that? Well, there is. It's called Wavy, and it lets you follow just about anything you want. Wavy scours the web for articles, blogs, tweets, and other news about those topics. Removes duplicates and other fluff, leaving just the story of what happened. And then simplifies all that information into a single feed with updates on everything you're following. You can even chime in with your opinions and have discussions with your friends. Wavy is kind of like having your own team of people whose only job is to work 24/7 to find the most relevant news, photos, and videos about your interests, and summarize them into updates for your feed. Every topic has its own page and timeline, which makes it really easy to get the big picture. So what are you waiting for? Try it out today.
So on today's episode, I have the absolute pleasure of having my very, very good friend, George Middleton, which is worldwide known in Bahrain.
World famous only in Bahrain.
World famous in Bahrain. But anyway, he is the chief editor of the Bahrain This Month, Women This Month, and also the president of Red House Marketing, if I am having that correctly. A person that I have a nice and close relationship already for a number of years, but the reason why I wanted to do an interview with him today was because he is seeing actually the big change coming from the printed media into the internet, and I think he will have some very interesting insights. So, George, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you.
So, great. Possibly you can give us a little bit of an idea of what you're seeing, because of course you have a printed publication. What is what you're seeing in actually of shifts into the internet, because I think that will be an interesting topic to talk about.
I suppose the most dynamic change in our industry is the fact that digital presence is an essential aspect of what we're trying to do. Obviously we've been very successful over the last 17 years in print publishing in Bahrain. Now the trend has got to be online. It's the future, and there's no way of avoiding the fact that you have to establish a viable presence and obviously reach a local market, but with an international potential for that as well.
Yeah. What is your experience? How many, from what you see in the Middle East, how many people are actually already going that way? Because I still see a lot of people doing a lot of their marketing offline.
Yeah.
What is the trend in your eyes?
I suppose the trend, like I think, the Middle East region is a little behind the rest of the world. Putting it another way, it's a good opportunity for us to catch up. But yeah, the most important aspect is that there's a new tidal wave of digital opportunity, and you have to adapt it to your existing business. As you mentioned, again, content is king in whatever you do. There's no reason for people to read what you're doing or to come back to your web presence page unless you make it dynamic and effective. And the idea is to develop strategies that will enable you to become effective in a digital platform in the same way that we as publishers have been successful in print platform in the last 20 years.
Yeah. How has been in your experience, because obviously, we see a number of newspapers and all sorts of publications really struggling with that change. So what is your take on what's the next step for the guys which are in published media?
I think the next step is to be able to find out models of financial expansion. We know how to make money on a print publishing environment. Yeah. The question is, how do you actually monetize your opportunities online? Yeah. And that's the biggest challenge, I think, faced by all publishers, certainly internationally, but specifically in this region. Because eventually, I don't think print media will ever die. People will always like to have a physical copy of a magazine or a brochure information source, but it's something which has to be integrated with an online development aspect to their business. Otherwise, and they've got to be able to make money from that. Exactly. So whether that's an augmented reality and the technology you talked about today offer an opportunity in the future for us to be able to become more of a dynamic. If we're good at what we're doing, it's going to be a more effective way of being able to contribute to the to the growth of business for our potential clients, and also to give information and easy access to our readers.
Fantastic. George, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
And now it's time that we go to the next section of the show, which is going to be One App a Day Keeps Boredom Away. Well, this pretty much wraps it up for today. I hope that you have enjoyed all the tools and all the resources that we have shared with you. And I hope that you will see us next week on the next Amazing Websites Television. This is Ernesto Verdugo, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.